Ice is good to go. Who else do we have? Terry's good to go. Baynes is almost good to go, but not tonight.
Is he a possibility for Sunday?
From everything that I've heard, that they're going to reevaluate him tomorrow and go from there. I'd say possibility is probably the right way to put it. He had a good workout today. He was mad that he couldn't complete it, or complete it as far as he wanted to go with it. He did with our stuff, but he's itching to play. Needless to say.
From watching them on tape, are they wanting different things? I mean, obviously, a lot of the players.
Yeah, I mean, they're always, they still run some of their base stuff. They certainly have added a few things based on the change in roster. This is a team, like, they beat Brooklyn really good the other day at Brooklyn, and they played with great pace, they played with great energy. I think they've got a lot of guys that can set the tone for that. Obviously, Beal is elite, but then they were really, really hurting them with cuts, rebounds, rolls, and all things that those guys play with high motor can hurt you with. And we're gonna have to be good tonight. We're gonna have to be solid tonight, and we're gonna have to meet their energy.
I know he's not a guy that people necessarily think of right away, but what did you guys miss this year when Baynes was missed as much time as he has?
Well, I just think, there's a physical presence there that's different than anybody else on the team. He's a guy that obviously defensively he can anchor a defense and be terrific at it. And then offensively, he's either laying it in, shooting the three, or getting rid of it. And ultimately, that does a lot for us too. So I think that we're better with Baynes. I don't think there's any question about it. But I said this the other day. There's no excuses. We've had enough. And Ice and Williams and those guys are good, big, solid players too. And we're not with Baynes tonight, so we've got to figure out a way to play with them.
You mentioned Bradley Beal. I'm curious to know how you've seen his progression, specifically as kind of a ball handler and really stepping into that role.
Well, he's always been a great shooter. When I saw him play in high school, it was against a kid that became one of the better players to ever play at Butler, and Bradley put 50 on him. And I kind of thought that kid was going to be a great defender for us, and I told him after the game, 50 seems like a lot. But he looked like Ray Allen in that game. Like, he was coming off screens, he was smooth, the shot was easy, it didn't take much effort. And then all the way through his early part of his career, he's just added. And now, with Wall out, you see him even more with the ball. He's been great off pick and roll for the last few years, but you can see more of it. And that adds to he's an elite cutter. I think that him, Reddick, maybe a couple of other guys are in the different stratosphere with how they cut off handbacks and handoffs. He's a hard guy to keep your body on. He just has a way of getting open that's unique.
That cutting skill, is that because of the reads? Like, what's the most important way to develop that?
He's always had that when I've watched him. Now, obviously, you can develop and get better at it like anything else, but he just has even the most physical defenders can't keep him from getting to where he wants to go in a lot of cases. And that's why you just have to do your best to try to be there as much as possible, and there's going to be some mistakes made, but he's really, really good at it.
Coach, you lose 4 games in a row. Is there a tendency to want to get it perfect right away? Is it impatient getting back to
I think you're always anxious to win quickly, and that just doesn't happen. You have to play well throughout the course of a game. And anytime you're on a losing streak, that certainly can creep into your mind. I thought the other night the streak probably hurt us more from the standpoint of, I thought we pressed when we shot. I'd like us to play with a free, clear mind. And so hopefully we can play that way offensively. But these guys play with a ton of effort, a ton of switchability. It's hard to get good shots on them. Thanks.
Thank you, folks.